Now this year, they always come out with this theme. This year it was Choose to Challenge, which was a call to action for all of us to step up and challenge inequality. But Carolyn, I think for a lot of people, that's a difficult step to take.
Well, it sure is, and as humans, we're kind of biologically driven to um, go towards comfort. And what's known and what's certain. And so if something is outside of what is known, certain, comfortable to us as humans, we tend to kind of push away from that. And, when we're talking about this topic today, that's a lot of stepping outside of comfort zones. And again, like I mentioned, listening to really understand, to empathize with someone, to get into their shoes and understand what it's like to live from their perspective. And if we don't do that, we're going to continue to miss the mark in this.
And when we take a look at the numbers, there's so many different perspectives that you can take from a year-long perspective or since the pandemic began. But if you take a look just for January of 2021, when we look at the number from the Bureau of Labor and Statistics, they found 275,000 women lost their jobs compared to 71,000 men. So can obviously see a massive more than 200,000 person difference there. And then when we took at one other piece of data, and it came in from a LinkedIn survey that they did specifically for today, and they found that 1/3 of women apparently say they don't feel supported by their companies at this point, Jocelyn.
Well, it's not surprising, and it's consistent with other data that we know. I mean, there's sort of two pieces to the points that you raised. One is that, there's a wonderful leader, Dr. C. Nicole Mason, who dubbed the pandemic the she session. And part of the reason she used that term is because of the disproportionate impact of the recession on women. And those numbers, those jobs numbers, sort of, make that point that we have seen time and time again with respect to the job loss, that women are overwhelmingly bearing the brunt of the pandemic. And I think, the survey reveals what we've already been discussing, which is that many of the supports that people need really just to be able to be both responsible workers but also responsible family members are not there. And women disproportionately feel it because they disproportionately are more likely to be the ones in their families who provide the care. And what we know is when you have those policies, they help women, but truthfully they also help men. If you look at other surveys, they show that men want to be more participatory in their families. They also want to provide care. They value their families just as much. So I think we have to think about these policies as disproportionately the impact is affecting women, but the benefit of putting them in place is that it helps all workers.